Against a short or medium range tool, your best bet is to barricade yourself and stay out of range. Hi everyone, this is John with today's active self-protection lesson out of Egypt. Here we see a shopkeeper just minding his own business who is going to be the victim of a robbery. We're going to learn important lessons here about awareness, about the staging of your own defensive tools, and about using range and barricades against short-range objects. So this shop owner is just tending his shop, and you're going to see a whole bunch of guys with these big old machetes come in, and you see him try to kind of face that guy with just his hands, and finally goes and grabs one of these plastic chairs against what now is, 5 guys at least bashing his store up and trying to hurt him. And he holds them off pretty well with that red plastic chair, at least 3 of them coming at him at the same time. And they get tired of doing it. And then he chases them out. And you can see he's pretty badly wounded in his hand there. And his response to that, those go to grab, I can't tell if that's a sword or a pipe or what, and go after him. And that's how this one ends. Let's go back and think about some significant lessons out of this one. First of all, you get that kind of first, startle flinch response that he gets his hands up around his head and his neck. And that's exactly what our kind of typical thing is going to be. And that simple reason for that is that, you'd rather get hit on the arm than in the head or in the neck. He's protecting his head and his neck. That's probably where that injury came from, but a whole lot better than keeping that on, again, vital structures. Then as soon as he can, he uses a barrier. And now it's not a great one, a red plastic chair, but a barrier is what kept these guys from being able to hurt him with a machete, because that machete requires an awful lot of space to operate. And so the barrier, even though it's not necessarily a great one, was good enough to keep these guys off him. I don't know how else he was going to fight 3, 4, 5 guys that are armed with machetes that want to hurt him. Now, it is interesting to me that as he comes out, you can notice he pays a little attention that he's got a badly injured hand. However, he's still in the fight. Even if you're injured, you have to stay in the fight. And then for after action, you got to have your first aid equipment and your first aid skills with you. Now, finally, you notice here, he goes and gets a sword or a baton or, a big stick or something. But I just want us to notice how little effect that staged tool had in this fight, that he couldn't get to it and he didn't have any time to get to it because those guys were on top of him, which is why I say, if at all possible, your force multipliers need to be on body. They need to be with you because you may not be able to get to him. Overall, this guy used what he had available to him. He fought with vigor. His attitude was incredible. He used the barrier really well. And, he did what he could to cover his ass.